Okay, our first name is Brianna. Okay, welcome, Brianna. How are you, Brianna? Brianna, here you go. Brianna. Okay. All right. Hey, what's up? How are you, Elizabeth? How are you? Hope your day is going good. All right. Good too. My day is good too. Thanks for asking. All right. Let's go, everyone. Let's go. All right, let's start. All right. Let's go, guys. Everybody drop your name in the chat. Everyone drop your name in the chat. Guys, let's go. Everyone drop your name in the chat. Let's go. All right, we got Matt in the chat. Let's go, Matt. All right. Welcome, Matt. Welcome. And thank you so much for subscribing, Matt. Then we've got is... All right, Anna. We've got Anna in the chat. Thank you, Anna, for subscribing. Here you go, Anna. Thank you. Here you go, Anna. Who else do we have in the chat, guys? Drop your names in the chat, everyone. Drop your names. Then we got is Eliza. All right. By Elizabeth. Okay. Here you go. All right. Who else do we have in the chat? Everybody drop your names. Bruce. Okay, Bruce. Here you go. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber is Alina in the chat. Alina, here you go, Alina. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Alexis. Here you go, Alexis. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Katie. Here you go, Katie. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is... Let me check the chat, guys. Let me check. It is Dimitri. All right, Dimitri. Here you go, Dimitri. Thank you so much for subscribing, Dimitri. My next subscriber is Afra. Here you go, Afra. Thank you so much for subscribing, Afra. My next subscriber after Afra is Mia. Here you go, Mia. Thank you so much for subscribing. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Huria. Here you go, Huria. Thank you so much for subscribing, Huria. Here you go. All right. My next subscriber in the chat is Jose. Here you go, Jose. Am I pronouncing your name right? You're welcome, Edley. Then we've got... Next subscriber name is Lewis. Here you go, Lewis. Am I pronouncing it right? Then the next subscriber in the chat is Caden. Welcome in, Caden. How are you doing? My next subscriber in the chat is Mahalia. Thank you so much for subscribing to me, Mahalia. Then my next subscriber is Isaac. Here you go, Isaac. Thank you so much for subscribing. Everybody give it up for Isaac. All right. Then we got is Elena and Maury. Elena and Maury. All right, here you go, Elena and Maury. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Amy. Everybody give it up for Amy. All right, Amy. Thank you so much for subscribing, Amy. Then my next subscriber, thank you so much, Maria. Everybody give it up for Maria. Thank you so much for subscribing. All right, my next subscriber in the chat is... All right, then my next subscriber is Rinley. All right, Rinley. Everybody give it up for Rinley. All right, thank you so much for subscribing, Rinley. My next subscriber in the chat is Ivan. All right, everybody give it up for Ivan. Thank you so much for subscribing, Ivan. All right, then we've got his Airman in the chat who subscribed. Everybody give it up for Airman. All right, Airman, thank you so much for subscribing. All right, then my next subscriber in the chat is... Thank you so much, Bonnie. Thank you so much, Bonnie. Everyone, give it up for Bonnie. Thank you so much for being so kind to me, Bonnie. You are amazing. Then we got Brett in the chat who subscribed. Everybody give it up for Brett. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Nene. Here you go. Thank you so much for subscribing, Nene. My next subscriber after that is Gabriella. Thank you so much, Gabriella, for subscribing. Here you go. My next subscriber after Gabriella is... It is Hunter. Here you go, Hunter. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber after that is Viper NNS. All right, Viper NNS. Here you go. Thank you so much for subscribing. All right. All right. Just give me a moment, guys. Then we've got is... Thank you so much, Amy. Everybody give it up for Amy. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for sharing and liking. All right. Then my next subscriber in the chat is... It is... Just give me a moment. All right. It is Merid. All right. Everybody give it up for Merid. All right. Thank you so much, Merid. Then Amy, again, thank you so much for sharing my live. Amy, everybody give it up for Amy. Shout out to Amy for liking and subscribing and sharing my live. Everyone give it up for Amy. Shout out to Amy. Shout out to Amy. Shout out to Amy. And we got his Autumn in the chat. All right, thank you so much for subscribing, Autumn. Thank you so much. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Santi. Thank you so much, Santi, for subscribing. All right. My next subscriber in the chat is Nathan. Thank you so much, Nathan, for subscribing to me. Thank you. My next subscriber in the chat is Matthew. Thank you so much, Matthew, for subscribing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Then we got this. All right, thank you so much. And then my next subscriber is Emma. Everybody give it up for Emma. Thank you so much for subscribing, Emma. My next subscriber in the chat is Louie. Of course, I remember you, Louie. How are you? Welcome back. Then my next subscriber is Sahan. Thank you so much for subscribing, Sahan. Everybody share the live, like, and subscribe. Then we got is Corey in the chat. Thank you so much, Corey, for subscribing. My next subscriber is Nathan. All right, thank you so much, Nathan, for subscribing. Here you go. My next subscriber in the chat is Lily. Thank you so much, Lily, for subscribing. Sorry, Lily. Let me do that again. Lily. Here you go, Lily. Thank you so much. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Alicia. Here you go, Alicia. Thank you so much for subscribing, Alicia. Thank you, Alicia. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Mathia. Thank you so much, Mathia, for subscribing. Here you go, Mathia. Then my next subscriber is Viviana. Here you go, Viviana. Thank you so much for subscribing, Viviana. Here you are. Then my next subscriber in the chat who is next? Aiden is next. Thank you so much, Aiden, for subscribing. Everybody hit that subscribe button and like. Let's go. Then my next subscriber in the chat is, thank you so much. Everybody give it up for Matteo. All right. Where are you from, Matteo? Where are you watching from? Tell me in the chat. Then we got Jenna in the chat. Thank you so much for subscribing, Jenna. My next subscriber in the chat is Alicia. Thank you so much for subscribing, Alicia. Thank you. My next subscriber from Ireland. All right. My next subscriber is Miku. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you, Miku, for subscribing. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Zendaya. Thank you so much, Zendaya, for subscribing. subscribing. All right, here you go. My next subscriber is Alicia, and Alicia is from Fiji. Here you go, Alicia. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Aliyah. Where are you watching from, Aliyah? Tell me in the chat where you're watching from. Then we got is Zoe in the chat. Thank you so much, Zoe, for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Eve. Thank you so much, Eve, for subscribing. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Noah. Here you go, Noah. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Eduardo. Thank you, Eduardo. Everybody give it up for Eduardo. Here you go. Thank you, Eduardo. All right, my next subscriber in the chat is, let me check that chat, guys. It is Emma. Here you go, Emma. Thank you so much for subscribing to me. My next subscriber in the chat is Andre. Here you go, Andre. Thank you so much for subscribing. Everybody give it up for Andre. Then my next subscriber in the chat is... Yes, Ryder, tell me your country. Where you are watching from. Tell me. All right, then we've got my next subscriber in the chat is Weston. Thank you so much, Weston, for subscribing. All right, my next subscriber in the chat is my next subscriber is Paisley. Here you go, Paisley. Thank you so much for subscribing, Paisley. Here you are. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Kaden. Everybody give it up for Kaden. Thank you so much for subscribing, Kaden. Then my next subscriber in the chat is... All right, it is Christian. Thank you so much, Christian, for subscribing. Here you go. All right, then we've got Noel. Noel is watching from New Zealand. All right, give it up for Noel. My next subscriber in the chat is my next subscriber is Gavin. Thank you so much, Gavin, for subscribing. Here you go, Gavin. All right, my next subscriber in the chat is Neha. Thank you so much for subscribing, Neha. Thank you. My next subscriber in the chat is Alicia, and Alicia is watching from Chicago. All right. Then my next subscriber in the chat is May. Where are you watching from, May? Here you go. My next subscriber in the chat is, let me check the chat. It is Blake. Blake, where are you watching from, Blake? Tell me in the chat, Blake. Tell me. Then my next subscriber is Liam. Here you go, Liam. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing as well. Then my next subscriber is... Okay, Blake is from Kansas. Awesome. Then we got his EJ in the chat. Thank you so much for subscribing, EJ. Then my next subscriber is Judith, and Judith is from Canada. Everybody give it up for Judith, and shout out to Canada. All right, then my next subscriber in the chat is Sophia, and Sophia is from Canada as well. All right, Sophia, thank you so much for subscribing. And my next subscriber in the chat is, all right, we've got is Tom in the chat. All right, thank you so much, Tom. Then my next subscriber is Livia. All right, Livia, thank you so much for subscribing. All right, so many different people from watching all over the world. Awesome. Then we got, all right, my next subscriber name is Mia. Here you go, Mia. Thank you so much for subscribing, Mia. Thank you. Then my next subscriber is Bella in the chat. Thank you, Bella, for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Tiny. Tiny Art is watching from Bartholomew. How do you pronounce that? I'm sorry. Next subscriber is Joshua. All right, Joshua. Thank you so much, Joshua. Thank you so much for subscribing. Everybody give it up for Joshua. My next subscriber in the chat is Vera. Here you go, Vera. Thank you. All right, my next subscriber is, all right. Do you want me to write Ireland? All right, okay. Here you go. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you. Then everybody drop your names in the chat. Everyone drop your name in the chat. Tress, thank you so much for subscribing, Tress. My next subscriber in the chat is Yuna from Philippines. Everybody give it up for Yuna. Yuna, here you go. Thank you for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Will. Thank you so much, Will. My next subscriber in the chat is Saito. Here you go, Saito. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Emma. Here you go, Emma. Thank you so much for subscribing, Emma. All right, my next subscriber is Anna in the house, guys. Anna is in the house. Everybody give it up for Anna. Then my next subscriber is Ayla. Thank you, Ayla, for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is... All right, Bar. Okay, here you go. Thank you so much. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Jack is from New York, guys. Everyone give it up for Jack. He is a New Yorker. Then my next subscriber, it is... Everybody drop your names. Everybody, let's go. Saito, you are next. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is... All right, it is... Who else is next? Emma, here you go, Emma. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is... Hold on. All right. Okay, that's awesome. Then we have is Fad. Here you go. Thank you so much for subscribing. Then my next subscriber is Davey. Here you go. Thank you so much, Davey, for subscribing. My next subscriber is Luna. All right, Luna is from Korea. All right, thank you, Luna. Are you from South Korea? All right. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Teekshana. Teekshana, where are you watching from, Teekshana? Here you go, Teekshana. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Izzy and Cole. Thank you so much, Izzy and Cole. Here you go, Izzy and Cole. Thank you so much, guys, for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Carter. All right, thank you so much, Carter, for subscribing. Thank you. Then we've got is Daxton in the chat. Everyone give it up for Daxton. All right, my next subscriber in the chat is... Who is next? Everybody drop your name in the chat, guys. Drop your names in the chat, everybody. My next subscriber, you're welcome, Edits, you're welcome. My next subscriber is Dart. Thank you so much. Then my next subscriber is Dart. All right, he is from New York. Then my next subscriber after that is Joel. All right, everybody give it up for Joel. Thank you so much, Joel, for subscribing. Then we got is Gia. Thank you, Gia, for subscribing. My next subscriber is Aries. Thank you so much, Aries, for subscribing. Then we've got is Looney. Here you go. Thank you so much for subscribing. Then we've got my next subscriber in the chat is Ezzy. All right, Ezzy, here you go. Here you go. All right. Then my next subscriber in the chat is... All right, it is Ezequiel. Okay, Ezequiel. Here you go, Ezequiel. Thank you so much for subscribing. And the subscriber is Suzanne. How are you, Suzanne? How was your day? And my next subscriber in the chat is Jax. All right, Jax. Thank you so much for subscribing. Then we have is James in the chat. Thank you, James, for subscribing. Then we've got is... Susie. All right, Susie, thank you so much for subscribing. Susie, here you go, Susie. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Henris. Here you go, Henris. Thank you so much for subscribing. Henris, here you are. Thank you. My next subscriber in the chat is Nefis. Here you go, Nefis. Thank you so much for subscribing, Nefis. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Mia. Here you go, Mia. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Jel. Here you go, Jel. Thank you so much for subscribing, Jel. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Javon. Here you go, Javon. Thank you so much for subscribing, Javon. My next subscriber in the chat is Bernardo. Here you go, Bernardo. Thank you for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Waz. Here you go, Waz. Thank you so much for subscribing, Waz. Here you are. My next subscriber in the chat is... Let me see, Amelia. Here you go, Amelia. Thank you so much for subscribing, Amelia. My next subscriber in the chat is... Let me check the chat. Thank you, MJ. Thank you so much for that. My next subscriber in the chat is...